first and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Ready.
Now a play fake. Lance. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. The Broncos 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Lance. He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
Ready.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now 2nd and 9 from the 10.
10 cycles. White.
Play action. Now it's Lance. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in Week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. Zerline's kick is up and through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. On play action, Lance. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Levis on 3rd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely got to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Fielded at about the 28. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive in particular. If they can bounce. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
And now here's Goodwin with it on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12.
Lance looking to throw it. And his throw here's incomplete.
Myles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
Here we go. Here we
An
go.
incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ready.
Off of play action, here's Lance. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations. Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw complete here on target to Tunyon. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Smash. Ready. Ready.
Here's Lance. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't.
There he goes, right side. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. Touchdown! Christian McCaffrey, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
First down, Golden Eagles.
Levis to throw it. He's got a man. That's Marshall.
Complete to Terrace Marshall. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8. At the 43.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 8. And that's out quickly to Chase. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. A mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback.
At their own 45-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Levis out of the shotgun now. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Wow, this
this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And a huge play that time. 41 yards.
Well, he booked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. Now they got to get to the line quickly. A second down throw from Levis. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, the connection they've had has been excellent today, but not on that snap. I think he was asking just a little too much as he extended that play, hoping for one more completion with him.
Levis back to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick-6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that end up watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Levis. And my goodness, another interception. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and have a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. The defenders certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
Lance again here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Broncos 31, Golden Eagles nothing.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they get the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Ready.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
At the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Levis finding Harris over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Levis now off of play action. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Golden Eagles take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
Here we go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Lance. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Well, they got a takeaway on the last drive with an interception. How about this sack as a terrific follow-up? And that keeps pressure on this offense, and it could force them into more rush decisions or another turnover.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Finding space at the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Lance. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards down to the 13.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
53 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Here's Lance to throw it. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And this offense on third down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now this is going to be a quarterback draw. And Strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Touchdown! DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Golden Eagles get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead now down to 20.
Broncos 34. Golden Eagles 14.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Going deep here for Watkins. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
Partner, you and I have struggled with this for years. You've got the lead. Just take care of the football and burn some of that clock. But there's something to be said for not taking your foot off the gas as well, because you can never have too big of a cushion. That one, though, falls incomplete.
And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 18. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Second down, here's Levis. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick 6 from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Desperation time now. Here's Levis. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And now here is another interception. Now look out. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A run on 1st down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Now 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Set.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he is going to lose yardage here. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Now a throw caught by one of their linemen. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Broncos are on their way to a 2-0 start. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Broncos, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Paris, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.